So what we have here, we have a slab and we have beams. Are they connected together? The answer is no. So what we need to do, we can easily select all of them, and then we can come to auto mesh. But instead of using this option, we need to see which is suitable for auto meshing with the frame. So I'm coming here, auto mesh area using cookie cut based on a straight line, object in meshing group, and you can extend all line. If the lines is partial in the slab, that would be extension of that line for edge to edge of the slab. So I'm selecting this one and I apply. So this cookie cut is connecting the shell to the frame, but I haven't subdivided the shells actually. What else I need to do? If you remember this area, I had an issue about connecting the elements together. So what I need to do, I need to go to the elevation. So I'm coming here, show all. I'm just fixing this before moving forward. So I'm coming to view, set limit, show all. Now I have the whole structure. I need to come to YZ plane, grid C. So I'm choosing YZ. I'm showing the grids. So currently I'm on grid F. Okay, now I'm here on this wall. Let's zoom in. So here what I did for the two others, one of them was automatic mesh, there is no subdivision. One of them I introduce a beam with a stiffness and I automatically mesh the beam to this element. So if I move one here and come here, you can see the beam, and if I right click on the beam, is mentioned here in assignment automatically mesh at intermediate joints. So that's how I edited this beam. So I have this one in order. Now let's back to the one that we need to fix. I'm coming here. I can choose just play with this joints, and you can see that the result is not different. So I, for example, move this one here because there are not too many. I can play with that option. I can move this one here, then I just select these two with these two joints, and I will go for dividing based on the point at the edge and apply. I'm just doing this intentionally to show you the differences. So you have three types of edit now. One is auto mesh, one is subdividing, and one is running a stiff beam on top and auto mesh the beam. Now what we need to do with the rest of the slabs, are they okay or not? So the panel we have currently is about 6 meters by 6 meters. The only issue we have is these slabs are connected just to these joints, and that's all. There is no connection, proper connection to the beams. You can subdivide these slabs to at least 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 to make it more reasonable. Don't go for very large number. It really back to the level of accuracy you need to see here in your frame. But minimum 2 connections are a reasonable option for you to connect this beam and the shell together. So what we can do here, it's up to us. Either subdivide this frame to 2 points and then automatic mesh the shell to that. We can do both here. So I'll select these elements here, not all of them because some of them are already subdivided. So I'm just selecting whatever I need. I'm intentionally not choosing this. I will tell you why. So if you want to do things, then you need to come and select elements like that, and then you can come here and you can select this option and go for 3 by 3 and apply. Here what we need to do, we can I think this one is missed, but for this one I prefer to choose these two joints and use this option for selecting at area edge and then apply. Yep, so you can see they are match. If you select this, if it show you 1 point, that means they are exactly at the same line. If it shows you 2 points, then you need to merge them. Likewise here, I'm selecting these two and press apply, so I have just one line. So this is one level I've done like this. The next level I'm coming, I can do the same, but I can do it by beams. So I can come here and select all beams I have. Doesn't matter if I select the shells or not, because they wouldn't be in. So I'm selecting these elements and then I'm selecting those, and here again I'm selecting these elements. I have some other options here, so I must be careful. So I'm selecting those beams and this beam for this, and then I can come here and select the number of frames I want to see, for example 3, and apply. I just need to be careful if I chosen all frames or not. So currently it doesn't matter if you select shell or not, so you can just simply select all of them and then mention I wanna make it to 3. So if there is anything missed, that's fine, you can add it later and then apply. Now I have these. Now I need to select them carefully, so I'm coming, select this, select here, 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 going all the way down, and just select the ones that I haven't meshed them before. Sometimes it's time consuming, guys, but you need to be patient. Do it once, do it right. You have different joints. It's unavoidable to make it absolutely ideal. You just need to find the proper way to deal with this. So I'm selecting those and I'm coming to automatic mesh, assign area, automatic area mesh, and then I'm coming here. I'm using point object in meshing group on the area edge, so I select this option and I apply. I leave the lower one as it is. I'm not changing this, and then we can compare the result. So what else we need to do? We fix all those elements. We added some extra joints here, just different meshing and different dividing, just to show you how it works. And now I need to get back to top and see what I need to do with my steel frame. So I'm coming here, I'm going to 3D. There is a mistake here. I intentionally leave it to show you later on that you may have few stages of check, guys. It's not necessarily one stage. Then you can find some other minor errors you have. So I'm coming here, I'm selecting the group of top frame that I assigned as a group before. So I'm coming to select by group and I choose top steel frame. So I select top frame and then show selection only. Now I just have my top frame. What I need to do, I need to connect my beams to the columns. You can see that this is just one beam, but there are few connections here. Are they connected or not? We don't know. We need to use automatic frame mesh. How can I do that? Can I select simply all of them and do automatic frame mesh? I must be very conscious about which elements are being automatic mesh and how. Because for example, those braces, I don't want to do automatic mesh with intersection of frames, because if I do that, that means this joint will be detected by SAP, and both elements out of plane and in plane effective lengths would be 50%. SAP doesn't understand the difference in the stiffness, but actually the bracing behavior is not like that. The bracing behavior is your effective length in plane is 50%, but out of plane, because the stiffness of this joint is not too much, and it back to the bending and stiffness of each bracing, the effective length you have here is something about 70 to 80% of the length of the element. So to avoid this, I can select them all and select the joint and go for automatic mesh, or if the model is complicated, just to be safe, I can come here simply and select the sections I would like to do automatic mesh, for example 310 UB, select, and then I can come here and put not in view for frames, then select all joints because I want to auto mesh them with joints, not with elements, and then I will put them in view again. Now I'm coming to assign frame automatic frame mesh. The option I choose is this option, mesh at intermediate joints. I'm not choosing this option at intersection with other frames. It's okay here because I haven't chosen all elements, so I can choose this one, but it doesn't do anything for me because other frames which are connected to those frames are not chosen. So because I just selected joints, I can choose this one, mesh at intermediate joints, and apply. And you can see that those are auto mesh now, but the rest are not. If you want to auto mesh all of them, then you can select all and come and choose one of those options, but the rest don't need any auto mesh, as you see, because they are not connected to any intermediate joint. Then I'm just rotating this to show you something that I've done here, but I leave it for next round of analysis. So if I come here, you can see that these two are not connected together. SAP doesn't show instability because this is a rigid connection to below, so it's like a cantilever column. Yes, this beam has more deflection. Is that correct? No. The transfer of load is not correct. So if SAP doesn't show any error to you guys, it doesn't mean that everything is fine and the model is accurate. You guys need to do your due diligence to figure out if there is any other mistake or not. How you can do that? By checking the displacement. I will show you in next stage. So we pretty much done whatever we need to do. Yet some of the minor issues may remaining. We need to do this trial and error to see if there is anything left or not. So I will save the model. I'm going to analysis, checking my load cases. It's up to me if I want to run earthquake or not, but I wouldn't run P delta because earthquake is somehow linked with P delta. We can leave it. We have wind load for checking the displacement for upper level, which is fine. So let's run it. Don't make things complicated unnecessarily because it takes time and you don't have a chance to exactly figure out what's happening. You can see the periods are fine now. There is no error in the periods. That means all instability is gone. But again, we have some mistakes. Still, we have some errors, but SAP may not show them properly. So here, SAP gives me one warning still about the structure is unstable. See how we go. So what I will do here, I'm coming to 3D and I select show all, Now I can see the deform shape is more reasonable. So what we can do, let's go to modal analysis as what we did before and see if there is anything can be found by modal analysis, because currently modal analysis looks good and we don't have any big period. So if I come here, you can see there is no abnormal movement. Actually a structure is moving in X direction, and if I start animation here, that shows a movement along X direction. Probably this is one of your fundamental periods for X direction. I will show you how to find your fundamental periods. You can see that gray line here because this wire shadow is active. If I stop animation and deactive wire shadow and again apply, you don't see it anymore, you just see the structure. It's really up to you if you want to detect anything or find the actual location of any unstable element or not. So if I go to the next mode, you can see that this is probably the major one in Y direction. Why the X is coming with higher period? There are two reasons. For the roof is because you have a moment resisting frame in this direction, but you have a brace frame in the other direction, and generally the structure is stronger in Y direction because we have a core wall. But if you remember, we have few other walls that those walls are in let me show you here. You remember probably the walls are all along Y direction. So Y direction is stiffer than X direction. That's why X comes at first. Okay, so looks like we don't have any issue, but let's move on and figure out how we can find errors.